Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. I did go thrifting again. I did get out after 2 days, and the roads are pretty good. Some of the back roads are still pretty slick. I did go thrifting. I had to stop by the pharmacy. So, the place I thrift from is just right across from. Hey, R&R, welcome in. Hey, Dark Side Channel, thank you for coming in. So naturally, we never miss an opportunity to go in there and thrift. And I think I found at least one antique piece of glass. So, say, that's what a reseller does. They thrift, and thrift some. Always like to keep it new and fresh, right? Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this. So, like I said, I did venture out after 2 days and just had to go to the pharmacy and pick up some medication. And of course, the thrift shop is just right across the road. So, naturally, I stopped there first. We get in to get the prescription and they ring it in. It says $64. And I said, wait a minute. I said, there's no way. We've got some of the best medical prescription insurance there is. So she went in there and, well, it says something about a home delivery. And hey, Laura, welcome in. Did someone ever say something to you and it takes you back to an aggravating situation and you just kind of, your blood boils a little bit? I said, we don't have any home delivery. I said, when we did, it was the sorriest home delivery I have ever seen. And she goes, well, call this number and they'll take it off. Well, number one, it wasn't on there to begin with. Number two, since I had to miss my doctor's appointment, because of a snowstorm and a closed office, she only authorized 30 when it's a 90-day supply. So he remained on the phone and he said, have her do it again. It should be okay. So it was, by the time it was all said and done, it was less than $6. I think that's a far cry from 64. So I'm like, there is no way that is $64. I said, well, she said, you reached your limit. I said, what? I said, there is no limit on my insurance. So the guy hung on there because he didn't want a second phone call because he could tell I was aggravated. And I said, we'll get our medicine delivered because the company that Ford Motor Company has is the sorriest company that I've ever seen. And I said, when I call them, I'm going to tell them. So, you know me, if I think it, I just say it. Life is too short to spend it with your mouth shut. You don't ask, you don't get. It's what I always heard. So all collisions were averted because I was about ready to get a real case of the RA. And I'm sure you guys know what that is. So everything was good. Their drive-through, where you pick it up through the drive-through, right after you exit out from under their building, there was a solid sheet of ice. So I decided to go in, which was a good thing because it was, and that guy on the other end, he said, there is not, he said, that service is not offered. And I'm like, where'd you get it from then? So like I said, he stayed on the phone because he could tell I was upset. I said, we've got Blue Cross and Blue Shield, one of the best drug pharmaceutical companies that pay for your medicine. They just throw out reason after reason to overcharge you or deny. And I know this to be true. I was medical claims auditor. Oh, Lord, Laura, you probably, when you're claims auditor, Laura, did you ever speak with anyone on the phone about their claim? A lot of people get really upset about their medicine. But, oh, Lord, Laura probably It's a wonder if Laura's hearing's not delayed because they probably yelled and griped and cussed and carried on. But I bet you don't miss that profession, Laura, because usually it's the one that in that medical claims that gets all uh, the tongue lashing, so to speak. So, but anyway, I went thrifting once again, and I was with my husband, and um, a guy came in from, he owns the car lot right next to the thing, and he comes up, and I don't even see him, and he says hello, and I'm like, it's the same one that was flirting before, and my husband was there. And it was like, man, that's pretty brazen to walk. Of course, I don't know where he was, but all I hear this voice and look up, and there he is. So I'm probably 20 years older than he is. He needs to pick someone that's not married, number one. And number two, a little bit younger than him or around the same age. I'm like, man, I said, he's doing that for a reason. So I audited claims that were denied as a patient advocate. Oh my goodness. That's when it really gets touchy, when someone really needs something, and it's hard because some people do need their medication, blood pressure, blood thinners, heart medications, and all that is really, really expensive these days, guys. And for those people that have insurance, we've got real good insurance, should consider themselves lucky, because I tell you what, I mean, when you have to choose between medication and food, then there's a problem there. And we live in the United States of America, and this shouldn't be happening. These people that's worked all their lives and retired, and what do they get to show for it? They get challenged on their medications. The doctors have to go back in and prescribe something that is similar, but maybe a generic form of the medicine. I mean, gee whiz, these older people have already they've worked all their life. I'd like to see some changes in that, because it's not fair. I told him, I said, with that mail delivery prescriptions, I said, if you was dying and expected your medicine to be there at a certain time, you might as well plan your funeral, because it's not going to happen. And, you put your trust in a company like that home delivers, and you're waiting for it, and you're like, where is it? And well, this, that, and the other. I don't want to hear that. You are a company and you work for me. So dispense the excuses. Where's my medicine? And that's why we didn't go with it, because they were so sorry. Hey, Marzitas. And I told him right on the phone, I said, that last one was so sorry that it wasn't even funny. And he could tell I was mad, because there was then come to find out that because I couldn't make it to my doctor's appointment and it was a partial refill, that's what they were going on. So I said, here's what happened. I said, there was a major snow and ice storm here in Indiana. The doctor's office was closed. So there we go. I should be admitted. That should be. And he said, well, yeah, that's a special situation. I said, you're darn right it is. I said, when you can't do anything about it. But I was mad when I made the phone call. One job I hated the most before is reviewing my boss's family insurance policies. Very long and very complicated for me to digest. Very tricky terms. Yeah. Yeah, when you deal with insurance companies, they always have those little loopholes, the ones that hang you, those loopholes. And that teeny tiny little print, it's like anything else. They talk a good game, but then you ask them a question, well, what's that mean? That's when they get defensive and try to explain it. But yeah, insurance policies, are good to have in the event, it helps with Of course, you won't get it till after the fact, but there's funeral expenses. So, on an upper note, I tell you guys, anymore today, the only way you're going to get anything is just to get right up in people's faces and say, no, 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 that's not it. So, I've got one antique, guys. I did find one antique. So, here we go, hot off the press. And welcome in, Miss Marzita. What I'm going to check this out, guys. Boom. And I didn't Google it. I just picked it up on thinking that it was older, and I can tell it is. And judging by the bottom, I'm going to write these things down, guys, as we go. That way, a person won't be. Let's see. But I know this is old. I can tell, and the pattern really looks familiar to me. Isn't that beautiful? I seen it in there. I said, don't say a word. You're coming home with me. So it's like she's talking to the glass. She's lost her mind. All right. So we will go ahead and do that Google search. This is amazing, guys. Look at that. You have that clear bottom. And look on this is fancy, guys. And I don't even know what we're dealing with, but what I do know is I know it's vintage. Wonderful condition. Let's get a measurement on that right quick. So we're looking at approximately, this is about 10.5 inches tall. Hey, Rebecca, welcome in, sweetheart. Rebecca says mine. They're already clean. Good to see you, Rebecca, sweetie. Rebecca, I hope I didn't miss your invoice, girl. I don't want to be in bad standing with anybody. Hang on just a second. So, because I check my email every day. Let me see here. I'm not seeing it yet. Maybe you're still working on it, because I don't see it yet. Hey, Dana, sweetheart. No girlfriend. Okay. You're fine, honey. I understand. Nobody understands better than me after this last sale and everything that's going on. Oh, Lord, the snow. And let's take a picture. I know this is vintage. Here's another look. Isn't that just amazing? There's your bottom. I seem to pick things. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I'm going not tomorrow. I've been busy with insurance and darn hurricane mess. We hope to be in our house. I hope so too, Rebecca. Rebecca was over where that hurricane went through, and anytime you deal with an insurance company, they're so nitpicky. If the toilet handle's broken off your toilet, they want to know about it. I mean, they're really anal about it. Maybe not that anal, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Because, they want you to pay, pay, pay. And when it comes time for them to pay, 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 they want pictures, timestamp. You know how they are. Anybody that's ever dealt with an insurance company, however, you may have paid them a zillion times, but they want you to prove you're the one that the insurance belongs to. Yeah, this has been quite the year for weather, guys. It really has been. It's been things like hurricanes and earthquakes. I think Romel gets a lot of, they get a lot of the typhoons and the earthquake activity and stuff like that, I think. All right. It's always nice to live where the weather is warm, but it can be really, that's what I thought. Okay, guys, I sold, I believe it was Minnie something that had the same. Hey, Face the Ace, welcome in, sweetheart. And there's Joanne, just in time. Look what we got. Just look what we have here. And we just started Googling, so you came in at the right time. And I I thought it rang a bell. This is Ellie Smith, Moons and Stars. Let me write that down as I go that way. And I think Miss Minnie may have something that matches this, so it's going to be a battle royale. The next auction, Moon and Stars glass basket. And I'll just attach my little yellow paper to the piece and bada bing, bada boom. Listen to Miss Rebecca, all confident out there in the audience. Well, this is beautiful. It is Ellie Smith. And we'll go ahead and get the art done. It's, wait a minute. I have measured, it's approximately 10.5 inches. My bad. So learn how to measure, girl, and get on with it. So we have a Ellie Smith Moon and Stars glass basket, a beautiful vintage piece, might I add. Huh? Yes, it's this is beautiful, and I think I sold someone. I think it was Minnie. I sold her something from the same brand, Ellie Smith. Let's see if we can't tie down a date on this beautiful basket. So I guess that's the stars, and that's the moon here. Rebecca said, "I don't care what less about. There's always something in a name, but I'm not for sure the date of this. I do know it's old though. Beautiful glass. Boy, there's some gorgeous. Hmm. But it is an Smith. Today's date shipped to Florida. We got to give everybody else a shot at it, Rebecca. But I did sell someone a piece that was similar and had the same Ellie Smith. Rebecca said she's old too. Well, Rebecca, I think I might be older than you, so we may be in that senior citizen. Well, I'm not that much of a senior citizen. Let's see. Okay, guys, it's time to get really excited because I Googled this. It seems that, so it needs to be cleaned up. The chat seems to love this colored glass. And this is rare, guys, because I Googled it and it said it's rare, and I'll tell you exactly what it is once I get to my. Alrighty then. Here's the description. And I've got 4 of these, I think. Yeah, 4. I can't, I had a memory lapse there for a minute, guys. But it does say it's a rare find. That's why I got it, picked them up. This is I've got four of them. A set of four Mikasha Domain green wine goblets. And I'll tell you what they're saying about them. Did you guys see that short on that beautiful Mikasha pink platter that was really, that's not too far from me? They're a set of four, and I do have four Mikasha Domain green wine goblets, and they're hand blown glass. Good question, Laura. Let's see if it glows. Let me find my. All right, where's it at? If I don't put something in this drawer, I'm terrible about. Where's? I saw that the other day. Now, where you guys? There was so much glass that went out of this house. And I tell you, it took me a long, long time to do it because, when you're dealing with glass, you have to do it appropriately or it's going to get broken. And we want to avoid that. Where is my black light? For Petey's sake, I just saw it the other day. I can remember the end of it laying here somewhere. If it does glow, we got quite the piece here. Where is that crazy light at? Let me see. But it does indicate that these are rare. There's that I was looking for. I can't believe this. I just saw that darn light, the end of it, the other day. And I thought it was over here. I've got so many papers on this desk amongst everything else. Well, I'll be darned. Where did that go? It's probably in the drawer and I'm overlooking it. I found it. All right, we're about to find out. Can you guys, whoops. So don't be breaking it before you get it out on the floor, lady. I can't really tell. Is that glowing or is that in my imagination? Here, let me bling out that light for a minute. Okay. Well, what y'all think? What you think? What you think? Say, well, if you get that piece of fur out of the way, it'd help. Here we are. So I'm not really sure about this one. I'll tell you what, if it does glow, I fell into a gold mine because I've seen a lot of these things sell for high dollar. It has a little bit of glow to it. Yeah, it's probably the glare off of that light. Here, let's do this. It's spooky time. Okay, guys, I'm here. It's just dark. There are no lights. I know there's a lot of lint going on, and I would safely say, after I blind you guys, there could be a degree of glowing going on. I don't think so. There's something right in there that kind of looks like it glows, but I don't know if it's lint or what. So I would say probably not. Okay, let's get some light back on the subject. Come to me, little light. Stay there. I wore my fuzzy boots out. These are cute. I haven't had these very long. I wore these today. Looks like a. My dogs, when I first got them, they would sniff it and think it was another dog. I can't tell neither. I don't think it is, but these are definitely rare because when I Googled it, it said, let's see what they're saying. Solid color, bell shaped, all occasions, green, vintage, yes. It's a goblet, 7 3/8 inches in height, mid-century modern, art glass, domain green. Man, that had quite the finish. Is glossy. It kind of looked like it because of that light coming down there, and I have 4 of them. Let's see what they're good. Googa Mooga. Lord have mercy. You don't even want to know what 4 of these are listed for. You don't even want to know. As long as I know, right? Okay, let's write down. All right, there's the second one. So we'll write down this. Start a new paper. Kind of good to know what you're dealing with here. But yeah, it said they are absolutely rare. Oh Lord, you guys really want to know what 4? It's. Let me see if I can get. I hate to tell you unless it's sold, but I will tell you what 4 lists for $60 because of the rarity. No, I lost it. Because of the rarity, 4 of them lists for $60 because of the hand blown glass. Hey Matthew, honey, welcome in. But it's hand blown glass. Let me write this down. And a set of 4 is up for, not sold, for $60 because I guess they're rare. So let me write that down. Domain. Green. Hand blown glass. Alrighty then, and I do have 4 of them. Nice piece. Oh yeah, they're really nice. I've seen them. There's a bubble right there. You can tell they're hand blown. There's a bubble right there. It's inside the glass itself, and there's nothing wrong with them. But there's a bubble right on the lip of this glass. So I guess that happened in the process. I don't see it on any of the others. But yeah, they're rare. It said that they're rare. So I guess because of the description of them that, being rare and being vintage and all that good stuff. Hey, Alfonso, welcome in. Don't forget that thumbs up. But these are beautiful. They're wine glasses, so you can sip in style. Put that one over there. One of them fancy occasions. Okay. I thought this piece was kind of interesting. Laura's going to lose it on this one. I'm going to show her the pattern on this. I did Google it, and it said this was stainless steel, but it's a solid 18-8 Cordova stainless steel. Cordova 1989. So first off, we have the tray right here. Here's what's on the back. And I've got some other little pieces. Look at this. Look at the tip of that. Isn't that beautiful? Then it goes down into this very intricate. It's according to them, I don't know. They said it was sitting on a gold bind. The bottom, it is stainless steel. I'm assuming that this is the sugar bowl, and this is the cream. Look at that handle. Every time I see something like this, I think of Laura. Yeah, it's stainless steel. So I don't know what that pattern is. There's your inside. Nothing on the back of that. 18.8. Yeah, right, Laura. It's stainless for sure. There's the inside of both the little, I guess it's a sugar thing. And of course, we have the tray. I thought it was beautiful. I really liked the intricate. You know, I don't know if they took an actual spoon, if this is an actual spoon or what that is. If it was just something that they added, you know, made up and added, or what that is. But I thought that was really beautiful. And we do have the tray, and this, my nose is itching. And this is what it, and I could tell there was something special about it. You got the tray, and I'll go back to my notes and take a look and see what they're saying about this. Let's see what we got here. So I'll bring it up again so you can see. So there's that. So I don't over on this other piece. His husband's nickname. So there it is. Maybe they did that intentionally. I don't know. Maybe it's part of something else. All right, Mr. Cupcake, here we go. He's probably laughing. Everybody calls him Cupcake. Let's get her up in the camera. And this is a vintage one, just saying, in perfect condition. And it is Ellie Smith, Moon and Stars, Mercury and Mars. You have your clear bottom. See, there was only certain manufacturers that did these clear bottoms like this. And when I seen it, a light bulb came on, but she is beautiful. Look at that. It's that big. There's that. Move it in. Oh, wouldn't it though? It would be a beautiful Valentine's Day gift. It's in wonderful condition. I don't see how this stuff gets in there without being decimated. I don't know, Rebecca. I got too much going on. She said, what will the start bid be? Since we're talking about a vintage Ellie Smith piece, and yes, names do count, moon and stars. Let me see. This one will start at $20 for this basket. Start bid will be $20. 20 doll hairs, 20 simoleons, 20 cookies. No, not cookies. We can't. But it's beautiful. It's perfect condition. It's not a small basket at all. I'll give you a measurement across. It's coming in at, it's so close to 10 inches, it's not even funny. Okay, we have to bid though. We have to, I can't, if I have an auction, we'll have to bid on it. Okay? I know that doesn't sound fair, but I do have other glass buyers that would like a shot at that. So we'll have to, I may have an auction next Thursday. So this will be up for bids, and I kind of don't want to sell anything before the auction because I like, everyone to get the opportunity, and I'm not being mean, to be able to. Okay, Rebecca, I'm glad you understand, to be able to be part of this because it's like, someone said, "How dare you sell that? You didn't even have an auction." But it is beautiful, and it will be here that way. Everyone gets a fair shot at it. Let's put it in a safe place because Lord knows. Whoa. No, it didn't break. So that's the other green glass. Let me just put that over there. Alrighty then. I might as well get it out. I'll probably clean these up because they're dusty just from being. I'll be a monkey's uncle. No, it's not broke, but look. This is a manufacturer's thing. Look at that bubble right there. That's not a chip. That's not an indentation. That was done by the manufacturer. So, you guys familiar with Pyrex? Everybody knows about Pyrex, right? But have you ever seen a Pyrex that has color to it that wasn't from at least the 60s? Laura said she's not troubled by. So we have this. Go rewind to go back to this tray. I'm getting too overzealous. I'll take a quick, I think I already have a picture of it. It is stainless steel. It would clean up pretty good. It's probably just from being exposed. It was probably in somebody's attic somewhere, I bet. I like to, that's where a lot of these pieces come from, people's grandmother or great grandmothers. They get left something, they're like, I don't want that old thing. And then it ends up in a consignment shop, and somebody like me comes along and buys it. I like to look for those unique pieces that you don't see every day, and there it is. Just, I'm trying to nail down the date of this to see if we have a date on this. That's what I like, to get the dates, but sometimes it's not. Let's make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Right there. Looking for results. It's not pewter. It's not that one. There's so many, there's a lot of things out there that it's not pewter. I know that. It's, aha, I found it's a vintage, what it says about this, it's a vintage Danish, hang on, let's see if it, sugar and creamer set. Ha, but I have the tray, so I'm one up on them. It is a vintage Danish mod stainless steel creamer and sugar set, 18-8 MCM. So this is showing that they only have this and the creamer, but I have the tray. I have the whole shebang. So let's see what it says. Not much. It doesn't nail down a date, but it is Danish according to, and it's old, so I haven't seen any listings with a complete tray and everything like that. So I thought that was pretty neat. But when I seen the pattern, when I seen that, I thought about Laura and that right there. Some things just make you think about certain people. Rebecca says, Laura, the sugar and creamer would make great earrings. Rebecca size. But yeah, this is even the one that I'm seeing that's listed does not have the intricate work on it like this does. It doesn't have that intricate work on it. It's just plain. So I got something a little special. I do say so myself. Yeah, big earrings and big hair. Remember when they used to use that Aquanet in their hair and they would pull it, tease it way up there? Now the hairspray, I swear they're leaving something out of it and you're not getting as good a hold as you would. As if, you know, it was something back in the day. I think they're doing it on purpose so you'll have to use more. Yeah, I asked my hairdresser if he ever done a beehive on somebody, and he said yes. He said she'd come in and he'd spray the dickens out of it. Said it would last for a couple weeks and she'd come back in again. I've never. Let's see here. Aha. Say, Lord have mercy, where's she getting these baskets? And if I'm thinking right, I think I have another piece that I just seen downstairs that would match this perfectly. Once I get that off of there. So, this is a tiny one, but it has little etched flowers in it. It's a small one. Probably vintage. There we have, let me see what's on the bottom. Did I miss something? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Well, that's kind of odd. There's a random string in the bottom of it, but it's weird. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if the camera is going to show this, but there's this mark on this. It's not, no auction tomorrow. Yeah, Rebecca, I buy that Aussie freeze spray, and I swear I don't think it's any better than anything else. Let me see. See that right there? That's not a crack. That is in the actual glass. That's odd, isn't it? Like I said, there's not a name, but that's what's in that. And I was looking at it, I'm like, what is going on with that? So I have a compote downstairs that I know matches that. So let's check this out and see what we have here. But there again, it's another basket. That light's beginning to drown everything out. And you have that etched look to it. Beautiful, beautiful. And I know it's old, but when I looked in the bottom, I'm like, that's weird. Where did that? Maybe it was a manufacturer thing. So let's get a shot. I know I have something that matches that downstairs. I know I do. I seem to be this matchy type person. Let's take a quick shot of that. Let's move it in a little bit. Why is that wanting to be? Hang on. Let's get back into that whole thing. There we go. But I know I have something that matches that, and Minnie has some other pieces that would match this. Okay. Something's on the end of my nose. Let's see. I don't know. I guess it's in my memory about the stuff that I buy, and it just kind of stays. Is that the one? Let's see. Definitely not crystal, so it's not that. It's got that same shape to it, but that's not crystal. Let me put it on different. Definitely not crystal. Let's see. Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh my goodness. If that's what this is, let's see. I'm hoping that that's what it is. No, let me see. No, it's off to the side. If that's a Fenton vase, I will pass out right here and now. Let's see. No, it's not. Wah, wah, wah. It's not Fenton. But if that was, if I found a Fenton piece like that, I'd be doing a happy dance right there in that store. Let's see. Let's see, that's not it. Let's see if it's a Duncan Miller piece. I didn't know Fenton made the clear. Your connection is not private. Back to safety. We don't want nobody to hack into something. Let's see. It looks like it has a daisy pattern on it to me. Let's see if we got the right one. Okay, it's got cut flowers. Let me see a little bit better. Oh, for Pete's sake. Because that looks like daisies to me. But let's keep looking. You know, sometimes the answers don't pop up right away. You got to keep going. That's just a clear. I think I may have found it. Etched glass basket. Well, they don't explain anything. And it does. Baskets in here. Let's see here if we can narrow it down. Nope, that ain't it neither. We do know it's old though, but I'd like to find out. It doesn't have that scalloped handle. Let me see. It doesn't have butterflies on it. If it did, we're in a situation where there's a million baskets on this that, let's see, it's not that one, but it's etched glass and I can't find it, but I do know I have a piece downstairs that matches that. Um, I've got a glass book downstairs that has the pressed glass pieces in it. I think it's a Duncan Miller, guys. Nope, that ain't it neither. It's got a total different bottom on it. Identification to be, let's see, it's not, it's got daisies on it and it's etched glass and I don't see it. Wait a minute. Let's see. It looks like that. So, guys, I'm going to have to further investigate this. I don't even know what it is. There's a lot of glass pieces that have etched flowers, but I think I've got the mate to this downstairs. But isn't that beautiful? It's not crystal. It could be pressed glass and it could be etched. See how intricate that bottom part is? But that's etched and everything like that. Now made it worse. But it is very, and I think I have the coordinating piece downstairs and I'll have to look into it. But I can tell it's old. Tell you how tall it is. Because I have a habit when I see something my memory clicks in on 8.5 inches tall, so it's not very big. I'll have to look into this book downstairs and I'll look into a piece that coordinates with that downstairs on the end. It's on the end of the coffee table. Sometimes you get stuff and you put something somewhere but we'll have to look into that. But I believe that I've got a match to that downstairs and it's a different piece. All righty then. Look at this, guys. Look at that. Of course, we know that's a single rose. And the light's not doing it any favors, is it? But there's your little rose is a single rose. There's your bottom. Take that off. Very lightweight, and I did take a picture of it. And we will take a look at what this is. But it's a single rose vase. Very intricate. There's where it comes down into the point right there. And I did take a picture of this. And I think I liked what I saw. So into the basket it went. Let's see. Let me find it. Where's that? Uh-huh, there it is. Excuse me. I don't know where this obsession for glass came from. Maybe I started buying it and got obsessed with it. I don't know. Oh, Lord. You know what we have here? This is not any one rose vase. This is a Tiffin. That is a Tiffin rose glass vase. And the roses on there are referred to as Cherokee Rose. It's Tiffin glass, Tiffin. It's 8 inches tall. It's a bud or floral vase. Oh, Lord, they got that up there. Antique original, might I add. Okay, it is a Cherokee Rose 8 inch tall bud vase. Antique original Cherokee Rose. It's crystal. It's crystal, guys, and it's Tiffin. Tiffin Cherokee Rose, and it is crystal. One little singular little, I have to clean that up a little bit. But that's what it is. It's Tiffin. Not Tiffany Romel, it's Tiffin. Not Tiffany, it's Tiffin. And that's not an abbreviation for Tiffany. I don't think it is. Could I be wrong? But it's it says Tiffin. You would think it would say flat Tiffany. That's an antique too. Tiffin, Tiffin. Does anyone know anything about? Let's just Google Tiffin and see history on Tiffin Glass Company. Here we go. This is Franciscan glass, Tiffin. Okay. They have lamps. Here, we're getting ready to have a history lesson. Made in Ohio. Okay. Here comes a history lesson. In July of 1888, it was announced that the A.J. Beatty and Sons glass factory of you're right, Joanne, you're right, of Steubenville, Ohio, would be relocating to Tiffin, Ohio. A.J. Beatty had been negotiating with various communities for more than a year to establish a site for the new factory. The city of Tiffin offered 5 years of natural gas, $35,000 in cash, and land valued at $15,000. Construction of a 3-furnace glass factory at the corner of 4th Avenue and Vine Street began in September of 1888, and operations commenced on August 15th, 1889. Early production capacity was reported to be 500,000 pressed tumblers per week. A.J. Beatty and Sons merged with United States Glass Company on January the 1st of 1892 and became one of the 19th factories of the large corporation. The Tiffin factory was designated Factory R on May 23, 1893. Less than 2 years later, Factory R was destroyed by fire. The factory was rebuilt in Tiffin in return for 2 additional years of free natural gas. And Joanne says, yes, Steubenville, that's where Dean Martin was born. Awesome, Joanne. Thank you for that information. I didn't know that. Now, see, we learned something again. During the early years of the 1900s, there was a gradual shift from pressed to blown tableware. Hey, Gypsy Rose, welcome in. All right, and Gypsy Rose says, yes, Tiffany has received glassware from the Tiffin Glass Company. Thank you, Gypsy Rose, for that information. That's something you never get too old to learn something new. And thank you for that information, because I didn't know that. Steubenville. So now a paper label identified the glass items with the letters USG intertwined with a gold colored shield. Commercial ware continued to be marketed under the United States Glass Company name until September 1927. After that time, household goods were identified by a gold paper label with Tiffin superimposed on a large T with a shield, and that has absolutely nothing. And I'm sure the sticker is long since gone. While other factories within the United States Glass Company were forced to close during the Great Depression of the 1930s. And back on that, that's when your Bakelite, celluloid, and lucite jewelry became popular because they were in the Great Depression and the money was not there. So they began to produce bracelets and various items with those three types of plastics. So I just remembered that and I thought I'd throw that out there. In June 1938, the offices of United States Glass Company were transferred from Pittsburgh to Tiffin with C.W. Carlson as president. By 1940s, all glassware was marked with a Tiffin label. However, the official name of the company remained the United States Glass Company through 1962. In the 1940s, three major changes took place in the use of tableware by the American public. Resulting in these transitions, crystal stemware regained its popularity over colored stemware. Fewer items were produced in the steam line, and to a large degree, China replaced the use of glass tableware for table settings. And Laura said, Tiffin milk glass is gorgeous. Okay, I've not seen that. In 1958, serious financial difficulties arose within the corporation, resulting in the sale of the assets to a New York investment firm. Business conditions did not improve, and a second sale took place in March of 1961 to Brillhart Plastics Corporation of Mineola, New York in 1962. Bankruptcy occurred, however, the Tiffin factory remained open until early 1963. In that year, four former employees, Paul Williams, C.W. Carlson Jr., Ellsworth Bebe, and B. Platt, bought the plant and resumed it in the Tiffin Art Glass Company Corporation. That took place on May the 1st, 1963. The startup date for the new Tiffin venture was September the 16th, 1963. This transition marked the end of the United States Glass Company. A great loss was incurred on August the 3rd, 1963, when the Glassport factory was destroyed by a tornado. Okay, Joanne, honey, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. So it was destroyed by a tornado. Nevertheless, business improved with 2 million in annual sales. On June the 4th, 1966, the company was sold again, this time to a major corporation, the Continental Can Company, in exchange for 6,462 shares of the Continental common stock. The company was renamed the Tiffin Glass Company during these years. Stemware remained the major focus of the production, with blown and pressed ware also manufactured. The factory changed hands again when it was purchased in December 1968 by another large corporation, Interpace, the parent company of Franciscan, Shinago, and Mayer China companies. It continued to be known as the Tiffin Glass Company, but In addition to using the gold Triffin Shield sticker, Interpace began to use a paper label, Franciscan crystal, which they placed on selected stemware lines in May of 1969. This Interpace introduced several new stemware lines to coordinate with their China dinnerware patterns: Jubilation, Canterbury 2, Flambeau, Revelation, Madeira, and Cabaret. All fancy. Man, this goes on and on. So, in order to get to other things, we're going to move on. But it seems like the Tiffin Company went through a lot of changes. It was traded, wheeling and dealing going on, all way down through the history of the company, which is very interesting. That's a very long repertoire. There's about 5 or 6 more paragraphs. So, Tiffin's been in it for a long time, and there have been changes, but they've always remained true to the Tiffin label, is what I like. And probably the Tiffin label on this has been gone a long time before it ever reached a consignment shop. So anyway, let me get something to drink, guys, and thank you for being here. So there were many changes along the way, but Tiffin never got away from its original roots. And I think that's wonderful, because that's years and years of beautiful glasswork that was made for people to enjoy, and people still enjoy to this day. I think that a name that is passed down through the years and years is very important, but Tiffin still held on to that name, which I think's good. Never stray from what you know, is what I always say. So I know you guys have heard of Pyrex. It's sold in the most recent stuff. This is colored, and I'm trying to read. See the tint to that? You can see that blue tinge to that. And I did Google it. I'm going to read the bottom real quick. And of course, it's got that Pyrex label right there in the middle, right there, and the trademark R. And I'm trying to see what that says. It says, let me turn it. Let's see here. Man, I can't hardly see it. This must have been around for a long time. Something on... Either I'm really, really blind, or this is really, really faint. Microwave safe, da-da-da. But I'm not really for sure when they started. I know, your Pyrex has a lot of clear, and a lot of your colored with the floral motif around the bottom. But this one has a little color to it, and I thought it was very interesting. It appears to be a loaf pan, and I did take a picture of it, and I think it's from like, let me go to that. There it is. And I thought, I know people seem to have this thing about glass that's a different color. So I decided to go ahead and move that up. So, where's it at? I know I've seen it. Sometimes you have to scroll to look for what. Let's see, where's that blue? But I think that's from like the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think that could be from the 70s. And I did find the picture. Now I can't. So Let's go back and take another look. But a lot of reasons why I pick things up because they're vintage. I like that vintage stuff. But I think it's from the 70s, and it's just a loaf pan. Of course, your updated models of Pyrex can be clear. They could be colored. A lot of them had bowls with the little floral motif around it. But this one has some color to it. And no, it's not glowy glass. So I did pick that up. There's that one. Next. I like this. I kind of had my eye on this. But it's so funny how the name that's on the bottom of this. After I get this off of here. Y'all know I love that bling. Whoops. Let's see if this has any function. This is a Laurel design. Look how beautiful. And it is heavy. Look at this, I'm sure they're glass. And it is by Laurel Design. Says it right there. Let me get it to hold still. Kind of hard to see. Laurel Design. Of course, you know I'm all about that bling. And look on the bottom, it's like an enamel on the bottom of that. Isn't that neat? And it's like a little, it could be a presentation box or whatever you want it to be. But I just thought it was amazing. Here's it's bejeweled in gold tone. Bejeweled. And there's that. I don't know what purpose that serves. I didn't take a picture of it. It might be something new, but then again, it may not be until we take that leap of faith here and make a picture. So, but it is a Laurel, Laurul design. Let's see here. Let's do some Googling to see if this Laurel person is. Okay, I found it right away. It's a gold tone photo frame. No way. You can put a picture in that. I guess you slide your picture right behind this little thing here. It's a gold tone photo frame. Jewels, Gems, Trinket Box by Laurel Designs. Isn't that amazing? But you put a picture in that. Let me see what else it says about it. Laurel Design, Trinket Box, square, metal. Yeah, but I've never heard of Laurel Design. I may have to look her up real quick. Probably not, Rebecca. It probably won't be till, let me think. What else am I doing? Let's see. It may not be till next Thursday. Rebecca said, I can't wait that long. Isn't that neat? But that is, you can put a picture in that. Or it'd be a nice presentation box if you wanted to put something in there. Laurel Design. I think I thought about Laura when I seen it and I picked it. Okay, guys, it's treat time. This is an antique. This right here. Are you going to do wine tasting, fishing class, PTA meeting? Hey, Tracy, welcome in. None of the above. You never know. I'm not for sure. You know, when you will never be as busy in your life as you are when you ship glass. And man, I had 10 packages go out of here. and it was all glass. I have never packed so much in my life, but you know, it all comes with it. Look at this, guys. Look at that. And I did Google this, excuse me, and it is an antique. I like to find that. I like vintage, but I like antique even better. So let's go to the gallery here. Thank you, Tracy, and welcome in, sweetheart. Oh yeah, I have kind of have a radar when it comes to certain things. All righty then. Did I go too far? Let's see. No, that's not it. Let's back it up, because I know I took a picture of it, and there was just something about it that really drew me to it. Aha. All right, let's do this. Google search. Narrow it down. There we go. All right. This is a vintage pattern glass bowl antique collectible. Let me look a little bit further into it to see. And Tracy loves antique. I do too, Tracy. It takes you back in time, and you kind of, with your imagination, you think of well, who could have owned that, and what, it's good for your imagination. There's your bottom, and it's just really good. So let's take a little look see. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for coming. So let's go this way. Start blah blah blah. Unmarked, mid-century modern. It's a bowl. It says mid-century modern, but over here it says, don't tell me they're misleading me in this thing. That's not it. Gallery. Say, don't be, give us the goods. We want all of it, not just part of it. But it says vintage pattern glass bowl antique. The word antique is used in that jargon. So it is a beautiful piece. It's you find that a lot of your vintage pieces are made so much prettier than your modern ones, because when they did something, they did it right, I think that is etched in there. And that's a messy spot. Don't look at that one. But there's your little pattern that is etched right there. You have a very, what I would refer to as a scallop type thing. Very pretty for whatever you wanted to put in that. It's that big. And we'll give you a little, it's small but mighty. So from handle to handle, it's approximately 6.5 inches. The little bowl itself is approximately 5.5. It is almost 2.5 inches deep, and it's an antique. Something that you thought would have been broken years ago is coming at you in pristine condition. And there you have it. I don't see how some things survive. The consignment shop that I shop at, they do get some broken things. No, they don't make them like they used to. They sure don't. The thing that I like about glass, there's a lot of lineage involved in that, where someone starts a glass company and they probably are operating on very low funds because they're new. And then through the years, they blossom. And then there's a lot of changes that take place. And It's only the ones that are steeped deep in tradition that keeps that name going. And I think that's a good idea. A lot of times, like for instance, we have an orchard and winery probably about 30 miles from here, and they grow peaches and they grow pumpkins and apples. And see, the guy passed away, so he owned several acres. Well, it was split. It had to be split amongst his kids, and now it's not Huber's anymore because it sold off to someone else. I mean, that had been a tradition since the 50s, and today our younger generation don't put stock in a name and tradition. They just think about the money, but what about the tradition that has been going on for years and years? We need to keep that going. To me, that is not a small deal to keep the tradition that is synonymous with a. I think that's important, to keep that legacy going of a person's family, and pass it down through generations. I find that really amazing. Now, I was only able to get a hold of one of these, but I think I know someone that bought a blue vase or pitcher, and looky there. I only got my hands on one of them. And I know someone that bought a blue pitcher that was, I forget what it was, but when I seen that, I thought about that person. Man, that got a lot of gunk on the bottom. But I always clean my stuff off. I'm not going to ship something with dust all over it and in a mess. That's not how I do things. And it does have considerable weight to it. I've been trying to branch out to a lot of colored glass because I noticed there is definitely an interest in it. So in order to appeal to, they kind of expect me to, you like to keep it fresh, you know what I mean? And, if you're going to branch out, if you're going to sell glass, you might as well keep it in the frame that what your buyers like. So this is a vintage KIG Indonesia laser light ice blue. Let's see how old this thing is. Mug, and it's in pristine condition. It's a beer mug. You can drink anything you want out of it. Let's see. Let's go down and see what else they say. But isn't it a lovely shade of blue? Vintage light ice blue heavy glass beer mug. Vintage KIG Indonesia laser blue glass beer mug. You're very pixelated. Probably, I don't know if it's my internet or what. I'm not seeing it on my screen, but the last video I did was kind of skippy, I guess you could call it. But I wouldn't doubt it. And see, I'm up here with the router is right over there. So it could be me. I don't know. I won't know until let's go on here and see. Because you never know. I was kind of freezy and stuff like that on one other video. So it could be very well possible. Let me turn this down. You would expect pixelation if I was outside or if I was traveling to another location, but let's see here. I don't doubt it, Tracy. There's been some Okay, there's that. I see a degree of pixelation. You're right, Tracy, right on my face. Maybe it'll break up a little bit. You're right. It could be, Tracy. We've had some humdinger of weather here, I tell you. But yeah, this is beautiful. I would have loved to have gotten four of them, but as it stands, I got one. But isn't that beautiful? And it's older. So I thought I would go ahead and get it because I know a lot of people are drawn to colors in glass. So I decided just to go ahead and pick it up. It's kind of nice. I'll have to clean that up. I never I never ship anything that's dusty or has a residue from a sticker. I just don't do it. That's not how you present something, or it's not how I do it. You know. Next. Okay, that's my husband's. Okay, guys, I remember the exact person I sold a larger version of this. And you guys probably remember this at the last auction. Well, now I've got the smaller version of these, and I have six of them. Isn't that beautiful? These are old. And here's that on the inside. But I did sell six of these at the last auction, larger than this. And this is the smaller size, probably meant for something else. But I just happened to see them and I just couldn't resist. Because a lot of time, guys, people like to purchase sets of things. And you never want to, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it in the frame of something that would match with something else that someone else bought. It's called creative retail, right? The boy, let's see, let me go to, no, every good, there's a lot to be said about selling. It's just not throwing up an item and then saying, here it is. You have to be a little more cohesive with your what you do. So let's Google search this little. I know I sold it is vintage anchor hocking wet can't talk Wexford pattern, and I did sell six of these. Was it four or six I sold? Thank you for the hearts. But this is a smaller version, and I have I think six of them. So let's see. This is for it may be like a for who knows? Let me look. Let me get rid of that. Let's see what it's about. Here's what they describe this as: vintage anchor hocking, Wexford pattern claret wines, set of four. So they are wine glasses, and it is Wexford. And I have six of them. I seen them and I couldn't resist. So I do. These are very elegant looking. I thought, you know what? I think I saw a bowl in the store that had the same pattern. And when I first looked at it, I said, man, if that was a picture, we would be in business. But this is just the smaller version of the water glass. So I've got the small ones too. Let it not be said that I am not a creative thinker. Okay, this is more of that. Yeah, they're in really good shape too. Oh, um, digging through the marsh here. That's another one. Alrighty then, container time. Alright, where's my lid? Let's see what this says. Ask and you shall receive. Here's the lid to it. This one's old as well. So, I kind of like to eyeball things just at first to see, if I see something vintage that I know that looks old, I just go over and pick it up. But here's what we have here. Here's the bottom of that, and it is a compote. There's that. Hey, Brian, welcome in. And Brian's been resting his back. That's sciatica, I'll tell you. And what it is, there could be a degree of arthritis with it. And when the weather is cold and there's dampness in the air, boy, does it hurt. So we have been praying for you, Brian. My husband has the same thing, and it's not a fun situation. And welcome in, sweetie. And here's the top of it. And we have a compote that I know's got age on it. So we're going to take a look. You're welcome, Brian. I know that stuff's painful. And it really inhibits your walking, and it can really be painful. I think my husband is, I think my husband is associated with some arthritis, some nerve damage, I'm sure. He's worked hard all of his life. When he was 16 years old, he was shoveling horse barns while the rest of them was out goofing off. So he's worked hard his whole life, guys. He's from that old school that says if you get anything in this life, you got to work for it. And I think when he worked, he worked 2 jobs for 19 months. And I really think that's what did him in, because he was loading trailers just as hard as he could do. You know how they do. And I think a lot of that lifting and and stuff is really what it'll break you down, guys, So here we have, I worked for a vending company, about killed me. I work like a man. Don't let the appearance fool you. I can work with the best of them. This is a vintage clear glass candy preserve dish with diamond design pattern. And it is old too. As you can see, let me see what else it says about it. But here's your lid again. And here's this part again. Yeah, Brian, it's an oldie but a goodie. Let's see here. It's unmarked. Oh, it's Art Deco style. Art glass. Huh. Imagine that. So it does say that it is Art Deco. And it is art glass. One of those really oldies but a goodie. There's your bottom. There's the top. You never lean anything forward because thank you, Tracy, because I'd sure drop it in a minute. Y'all know me. You know me, if I'm guilty of something, I'm going to tell you. But it's very interesting. Let me give you a height on it from the bottom to the tip of the little stem is coming in at approximately, hold it the right way, silly, about let's see here, about 7.5 inches. Thank you. And it's an old one. It needs to be cleaned up. And you guys all know that I clean your stuff before you get it. Because I'm not going to send you something that's like that. It's not in my character to do that. It's always clean. We have to have a nice presentation, right? Okay, I have this as well. You notice it's got a grape motif on it. Then it comes down into this, and I think it's Ambergina, but it's a different color. Minnie's well on her way to having a really nice Ambergina collection. This is a different color. I'll take a picture of that. There may be different colors of Ambergina. This is more of your yellow, but Minnie's got the red and with the yellow. She's probably going to put that together, and I don't blame her. She got that. Okay. So what we have, which she has a lot of, it's a Jeanette glass frosted gold urn footed dish is what this is. And let's see what it says about it. It does have that grape motif on it right there. Huh. This is really going to have to be wiped up, but it is Jeanette glass, footed, scalloped rim on that one. Grape Harvest is the name of it. Oh, yeah. She would, Brian, indeed. Grape Harvest. I like the variation of the color as it comes down into this here. It's depression glass as well. Yep, it's a Jeanette glass frosted gold urn footed candy dish bowl, scalloped rim, harvest grape, vine pattern, 5 inches tall and 4.5 inches wide. I'm definitely going to have to do a washing on this, or you can tell I'm from Kentucky, washing. My mind's always clicking. I try to get things that I know that other people have bought a lot of. Whoa. Let's put this over here. That a lot of people have bought in the past, and every time I see something, my memory clicks in, and oh, this is a pretty piece. Look out. We have the same thing, except look at that pretty blue-green color. It is the same thing. So this is the Jeanette glass, but we will take another photograph to make sure this is in that line, because the Jeanette glass is a little bit different. So let's take a picture of this. There's Minnie. Hey guys, just got notification. Hope everyone is doing good. Hey Brian, Gina, Tracy, Good to see you, Miss Minnie. Welcome in. Minnie, does that look familiar? It's the same glass that you have been purchasing. It's that Jeanette glass. Set that over here. So we're going to do a Google search. Minnie said, Minnie said she's a little manipulative up there, isn't she? No, I'm kidding. But I like to buy things that I know that people have bought in the past, and if they're collecting. Yes, I've been treasure hunting, and boy, is it fun too. It is fun. In this consignment shop, you never know what's in there. You just have to go in and let's see here. Let's take a quick picture. You know, I have this thing. I guess my memory clicks when I see something that that I may have bought before or sold before. Okay, Minnie, there's something pretty spectacular in the beginning. Okay, Google search. I know it's the grape motif, and it is a beautiful blue. Okay. Okay, this is a vintage blue grapes and leaves. Depression glass is what this is. It's depression glass. There's your inside. It's definitely an old one. Vintage blue grapes and leaves, depression glass, candy dish, I guess. Isn't that beautiful? Romel said, back on keyboard. Hi, Tracy, Minnie, and Brian. I used to love treasure hunting. I don't have the money anymore, though. I remember my grandmother being impressed with my shopping skills. Ha ha. Tracy, if you lived close, we would we'd hit those roads together. Isn't that beautiful? But that is depression glass. There's your bottom. All right, what's seems like I bought something else. I knew there was something else. It said, hey, Simone, honey, welcome in. Good to see you. No, that's that glass. Well, I thought I bought another item. Maybe I'm hallucinating. I don't know. It's good to see you, Simone. I hope you're doing well in this new year. I think that maybe I thought I bought. Maybe I changed my mind on something and put it back. But there's a lot of goodies up here. I moved a lot of goodies and more goodies to come, and so I would have never thought that that was a picture frame, but I guess it makes sense because you would flip that, you would slide your picture between that. Well, thank you, Minnie. It's always good, you know what you're getting. You know, I'm not gonna say something and tell you something if it's not absolutely true and to the best of my knowledge. I always try to be honest, and sometimes people don't live in an area where they're able to have a thrift shop. A lot of people are kind of homebound because their health will not allow them to get out. And it just makes it more convenient to come in and buy something from someone you can trust, not just, you know who you're buying from, you know the quality of it, you know they're not going to steer you wrong. They'll tell you exactly what it is, and it's good to know. Plus, it's fun to go out there and what I call shake the bushes and it's always an adventure. And every time I find something old, I think about, you know, my mind goes to, wow, I wonder, your mind goes to, I wonder what the person was like that owned that. I wonder, just all kinds of things, your imagination. Oh, yes, I found something that there may be a real battle royale over. Rebecca said, shh. But yeah, I've got, okay, Minnie, this is what a lot of the hype was about. Rebecca said, put it down right now. This is what all the excitement was about. And this is a Ellie Smith Moon and Stars pattern vintage. That's what there'll be a free for all over, I guarantee you. 'Cause it is beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? Yep. Some and many somebody was wanting me to ask me, what I was gonna start it at, but I said, it's not fair to, the other people that come in and support me to offer it up for just, I want other people to see it and have the opportunity because it's only fair. You guys buy for me, and it's not good to have a pre-sale before the sale. That way everyone gets the opportunity to participate and it's just fair. That's how I really want to do things. And that's why we're doing it that way. So everyone will have an equal shot at that beautiful basket. And then, of course, hey, Brian, I found that as well. That's old too. That way it'll just make it fair. If you put it, everyone deserves an equal opportunity in that way. And then we have this little basket mini. That looks like daisies to me. It's another old one. There's your bottom. And that's not cracked, guys. That is something that's made into that glass. That way we do it that way and everybody gets a fair and equal opportunity. So I just think it's more fair like that. So, because that way, if you get everyone together, and that's for sure. Thanks for being fair to all of us. Everything makes me happy. I will share with the rest. Thank you. I need to drive north and hit some of my old stomping grounds just for fun. Even if I can't buy, I really enjoy looking. Yeah, looking's totally free. But yeah, would just do it auction style. That way, everyone gets an opportunity. It's not one sided, you know. That way it's fair, and we'll do it that way. Imagine this. Imagine me selling that to someone else, and then the auction comes around, and they say, "Now, wait a minute. You had this really beautiful basket. What happened to that basket?" Well, I sold it to someone before, and you're like, "Well, that's not fair." See what I'm talking about, guys? You always want to give an equal opportunity. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I think it was fair. And, we want to do things in the right manner. And as I say, your stuff, there won't be any sticker residue because I take them and I hand wash them myself and dry them right. So, you know, I think a lot of times the things we do in a business or anything we do in life, we have to be, we can't lean to this side or that side. We got to take it straight through the middle. That way, because sometimes, everything we do, everything we say can soil our reputation. And when people think of somebody that, hey, she's really fair and she's going to go beyond, above and beyond to ensure everyone's happy. That happens on some channels. You get to see an item and it's long gone. Yeah, unless I come on here and say, okay, this is the buy it now. Whoever puts the gets in the chat first, but I like everyone to have an opportunity, and everything, a reseller does reflect on their character. You have to, honesty is the best policy. With my big mouth, I'm going to tell it like it is, and you know that. I'll show you to the best of my ability. I'll Google it and stuff like that, but you can count on it being right. And I may not be the fastest gun in the West, but I can be precise, when it comes to when you ship glass, it takes an attorney, it takes an army sometimes, but I want to do it right for you. I want you to get your things and for them to be in the best shape and to know that I did my utmost best to keep your item in one piece, but yeah, it's I also care about my friends here growing their collection too, because that's important to them. Right, because a lot of people collect. And yes, I do sell things, but I think a lot of it, guys, if I see something that I know that I sold to someone else and they may be interested, what's the chances of these people ever finding this particular item out in the wild, as they say? And if I have the opportunity to get it, then, that's going to make somebody say, hey, she actually took the time and paid enough attention and cared enough to pick something that she felt like I would like, you know. Hey, Liv, welcome in. Good to see you. We had a hoard of glass and talking about all kinds of things and antiques and goodies, and we're just having a good old time. But yeah, shipping glass is almost like laying out plans for, how would you say that? It's like laying you have appropriately, and nothing's in the wrong. That makes sense, and you've got to have a game plan because you cannot wrap something, throw it in a box, and give it a big kiss and say, I hope you get there safely. Hey, Gia, welcome in. Thank you, Gia. Have you been lurking? Good to see you. It takes planning, and of course, the more you do it, the better you get. But I utilize a lot of things: egg cartons, bags from the grocery. Oh, yeah, because I agree, Tracy, because some of these post offices are really hazardous. But it's good to see you, Gia. I hope you're having a wonderful New Year, sweetheart. I'm a sophomore in high school and got lots of homework to do. Probably won't be active in chat but I'll still be here. Okay, yeah, because I think the rules of YouTube, you have to be at least 18 to be able to participate in the auction. You can be here and observe, but I think that's the age on YouTube that you must be eight. Is it 18 years old or is it older than that? But we'd be glad to have you. We always enjoy all the faces in there and stuff like that. So, we don't want to contribute something that we shouldn't, but in high school and got lots of homework. Yeah, it seems like back when I graduated in 1982, and it seems like today the homework and the learning is so much more difficult than it was when we went. I'm doing good, Gia. I'm staying healthy and survived the snowstorm. We got more coming Friday, but I'm hoping it's only a couple inches because we still have a lot of your main thoroughfares are clear, but some of your back roads are rather hazardous. I know right there at the pharmacy, um, they had where you drive through, right as you leave from that window after that big awning, there's a sheet of ice there that you may not stop till you get out to the road, and that's a bad time to be stopping. But yeah, we're getting more snow, and yeah, Gia, we had several inches of snow and freezing drizzle and freeze. I think the freezing rain was more to the other regions. I think some people got a foot or better, so I'm hoping that we don't get a foot of anything. But you never know. The Farmer's Almanac did say that wintertime was going to be really a lot of snow, guys. I guess we're due for it. Let me grab this piece real quick here. You guys may have seen this short, but this merits being seen again. Check that out, guys. I did a short on that. That is big. And that is vintage Mikasha Pink Rosella Walter crystal glass serving platter. And that is how big that is. I could see this in the springtime with a cake on it, a big coconut cake, and surrounded by jelly beans. Isn't that pretty? We have snow coming tomorrow, and people have lost their minds. Yeah, the grocery stores is nuts. I couldn't find a shopping cart at first. My goodness. The parking lot was packed except a couple handicapped places. We don't get much snow in central Arkansas. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? This is big. But like I said, I could imagine that with a fancy cake on it and like really pretty, how cake decorators do, and they put like you know what I'm talking about. Isn't that gorgeous? And look at the iridescence to that. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me roll that a little bit closer to the camera right there. But what a presentation that would make with a beautiful cake on it. Of course, if your cake baking skills are bad, you can go to the bakery and put a cake on there. Thank you, Gia. And there's that part of it. But I could just see a cake on this that's fancy decorated and would be very beautiful presentation. Yeah, it is a pretty piece, isn't it? Yeah, that would make a beautiful presentation for the middle of the table. That is just gorgeous. I just happened to look down on a shelf and there it was. I said, "Oh my God," and it's pink. Wasn't no decision time for me. I grabbed it. But like I said, we're expecting more snow, guys. And our driveway, we have a 240-foot driveway. And of course, my husband has a Blazer that's got four-wheel drive. So he tried to scale down the driveway a little bit so that a person could get out. And my daughter's been going to work though. She said that a lot of times your get on ramps and your exit ramps will be kind of slick, so you have to be careful. I remember one year she was getting ready to go to work, and the get on ramp to the expressway was kind of slick. So she hits that spot, goes over, and she turns the wheel and she does a complete donut around a sign and knocks it down. So naturally, the insurance took care of it. But she was so nervous and she had the wheel turned. She just went off, did a donut around the sign. She just didn't miss it. So, but yeah, the weather can be hazardous. If you don't have to go out, don't, because they're still rather slick. Your expressways aren't, but your back roads and driveways and stuff like that. Gia said, "I will hide you in my arms during the snowstorm." How sweet, Gia. I know. We got some more coming. I don't think they said the word storm. I hope they downgrade that to something else. But it's barely even wintertime, and look what we're getting already. My goodness. Lots and lots of snow. Something to drink. Gia, is it warm where you live all the time, or do you experience a winter time? So there's no snow there. My snowstorm came a few days ago. It was so beautiful already. Most of it melted away. Oh, wow. Liv, you must live further south, maybe. Gia, snow is beautiful until you get out in the car and end up in a ditch. But yeah, and people drive crazy. On the news, it showed this guy, and I think he was going a little faster than what he should have, and he hit a patch of ice and rear-ended a tow vehicle that someone had just walked away from. And there was a police officer assisting, and they was off to the side, and bam! I don't think he ever touched the brake and plowed. Just think if a person had been there, and he looked like he was driving too fast, and he plowed right into the back of that tow truck. And I'm like, is he crazy or what? You see people off in ditches, and in some cases, welcome back, Brian. I hope you're feeling better, sweetie. Is there anything you can take, Brian, like Motrin or Advil or something for your pain? The sciatica is not. I have no siblings, so I filled up a bucket with snowballs and threw them at a yield sign. It was fun. Yeah, yield sign. It don't have any. If it gets hurt, it never says a word, right? Brian, you might want to be careful with Tylenol because it can affect your liver. If you can switch off to something like Aleve or Motrin, because I don't, they say Tylenol is bad for your liver. Gabapentin, oh Lord, Brian, if you think that gabapentin, and that's a controlled substance. Gabapentin will make you stumble a little bit, but it is for nerve pain. Yeah, Brian saw that mini on he saw it, I think he saw it on the short that I put out, the big, humongous platter. But yeah, it's, you can we are your siblings, you can throw snowballs just as long as they're not frozen before you do it. A lot of the kids got their sleds out and had a good old time down a lot of these slopes. And yeah, Brian, that pain, my husband's got sciatica and it affects your walking. And certain days it hurts worse than others. And you got to really, but it's nerve damage, is what sciatica is. And they use gabapentin, but a lot of times gabapentin will make you stumble. I think I took it one time. I had a pinched nerve in my neck and it hurt all the way down my arm. My arm felt like it was literally on fire. So they gave me some gabapentin and I went back to work and knocked my legs out from under me. Yeah. And I was working and I thought, I'm one of these people that is real anal about taking medicine at a certain time. That dish was unreal. It survived. I know many in one piece, and it's perfect. Someone must have really handled it with kit gloves, but that was that time that I was taking gabapentin, and nothing kept me from working. Oh, I'm still struggling to tell my thoughts to you. As you know, I'm not good in speaking English. You're fine, Minnie. You're okay. We understand. Thank you, Brian. Don't worry about it, Minnie, but we can figure it out, and your English is fine, sweetheart. We understand. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I misspell stuff, so but that was that time that I went to the doctor, got the medicine, and went to work, and I thought, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I don't think it's gonna bother me. Well, about 20 minutes later, I was coming home. And the only thing that woke me up was the gravel on the side of the road. And I went up because I went to sleep, you guys. I was asleep. And the only thing that woke me up was that gravel. And boy, my eyes was about that big, and I turned the air as high as it could go. And Laura said typos are her first language. But I fell asleep, guys. It's a wonder if I hadn't God was with me that day because the gravel woke me up. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the side of the road. Gee, never underestimate the power of that medicine. And I don't know what milligram it was, but I tell you what, man, my eyes was that big. And I was like, oh my God. So, gabapentin, not a good idea to take it if you're going to drive because I'm telling you, it'll zonk you out. Here I was, Miss Tough Lady. Why it ain't gonna bother me? Well, it did, and I found out that it wasn't wise to take gabapentin if you're driving. But I was one of these kind of people that I like to take medicine right on the dot. And a lot of people will, especially if it's nerve pain or any kind of pain, they want to take that medicine right on the button. And sometimes but yeah, that woke me up in more ways than one. No more gabapentin for me. While you know, never think you're super person when it comes to medicine because you're not. I found that out the hard way. But and like I said, that's what they give for nerve pain is and it's a controlled substance over here. I wonder since it's a controlled substance, what are people doing with gabapentin that makes it a controlled substance, but it is. Evidently, they're mixing it with something else, maybe. But I know a lot of times I've been to the dentist and he'll write a prescription for X amount of stuff for pain, and I don't take it half the time. I can clearly understand you, my friends, but when it comes to me to speak to you, I can't speak that much well. Well, Minnie, you're doing just fine. Yeah, mercy. Well, one thing about taking gabapentin, it introduces you closer to the floor, that's for sure. It never made me stumble, but it sure made me go to sleep. But I remember I had a pinched nerve over here. It's from my neck. I've got that degenerative disc, and when you have that, you get like what am I looking for? Like little jagged edges, so to speak. And then that nerve hits that, and it's not a good thing. But I remember getting up, getting ready to go to work, and my arm was on fire. And I called in. I said, I said, I don't know what's going on. My arm is on fire. I think it may be a pinched nerve. And it was. And I said, I need to go to the doctor. And I was right back at work the very next day. Nothing ever kept me from going to work. And, because, as you know, I worked home health care and people depend on you. And I would not, it would take a lot to make me miss. It really would. I was one of those, they could count on me. They could sit there and watch by me. I was usually about 15 minutes early, because it seemed like if you're ever late, everything goes wrong. Nothing, it seems like your whole day is full of oopsie moments, but I just, I'm not the type that runs in there right on the minute. I can't do that. I'd be a nervous wreck. You can't go in somewhere and prepare for your work being in a hurry. I've always been like that. That'd make me a nervous wreck. I've always chose to arrive 15 minutes early. That way, if something happens in between, you got some wiggle room. So, well, guys, it's time. I think I had a little bit of soup today. It's time for some major chow. So, thank you guys so much for coming in and viewing all these beautiful items. I think this was the result of 2 thrifts. So, more than likely, I'll probably have something next Thursday for an auction. That way, I try to break these up because, man, when you guys buy something, you buy it, Say it's your fault for having all this glass and this pretty glass. So I'm going to let you guys go. I really appreciate you guys being here. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much for the heart. Love you guys, and we'll catch you later. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.